first and last name, how long you've been at Schwab, and your title, your mentor.
My name is Patricio Garcia. Basically, everybody around here calls me Patrick to pronounce it easier. And I was here as a patient back in January 3rd of 1998, which is over 27 years ago. And I did my rehab here, I got discharged around mid-April, which I ended up going home with just barely moving my right arm, and obviously going home to a house that nothing was accessible. So from there, I started making phone calls or learning how to try to use the system to get my house modified, to get my equipment set up the right way and stuff like that, just to be able to, with time, started feeling overwhelming, not doing nothing at home, it wasn't for me. So I decided to come back here as a mentor. Sorry, as a volunteer. Whatever was needed, I just wanted something to get out the house so I could distract myself and kind of get busy.
If you're comfortable in sharing, can you tell us a little bit about your journey to Schwab, why you ended up here, and just, what brought you here?
Sure. Basically, the neighborhood where I grew up was pretty gang infested. So where I grew up, there was two different gangs, and there was a bunch of us basically growing up right there, being kids. And I also had a dad that he was an alcoholic. So pretty much every time he was coming home, he was always yelling and kind of picking on my mom, mistreating her. And I never appreciated that. One time I stood up for her, and me and him got into it, which from that day forward, he kind of had a lot more hatred towards me than the rest of my brothers, and I felt the same way. I didn't like him, I didn't respect him. I started hanging out even later in the park, enjoying the weather and the sports with the friends. But one of the gangs, they started getting so big, they started moving inside the park. So then whenever their rivals would pass by, they were assuming that everybody that was in the playground was part of that gang. And one time I got mistaken for one of them, and